Located at the crossroads of the East and West, where both regional and global superpowers collide, the external forces acting on Georgia are the primary determinant of Georgia's international relations. This video offers a brief analysis of the post-Soviet international relations of Georgia. This video focuses solely on government relations, not how the Georgian people perceive other societies. Our full bibliography is provided in the description of this video for those wanting to learn more. Georgia's international relations can be observed in many ways. One such manner is through its economic relations with other countries. Take, for example, foreign direct investment, or FDI, which is the investment that either foreign companies and/or foreign governments directly invest in a given country, such as building factories, roads, hospitals, and other types of assets. Here, the EU as a bloc takes the lead, while as a single country, Azerbaijan comes in first. Other notable countries are Russia, Turkey, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Recently, China, Korea, and Japan have also begun to heavily invest in Georgia. The type of investment made in Georgia by foreign countries can be indicative to the nature of the relationship. For example, Azerbaijan is the largest investor in Georgia, but nearly all of that is from Azeri oil and gas companies which build and operate various pipelines which traverse Georgia. The United States is the single largest investor of humanitarian and military aid. Between 1992 and 2000, Georgia received an average of $96 million each year from the United States, and between 2000 and 2007, that increased to an average of $135 million annually. This assistance came in numerous forms, such as municipal infrastructure rehabilitation, agribusiness development, and political development. What's more, in the year after the 2008 war, Georgia received a total of a little more than $1 billion from the United States. Since Georgia's independence, the United States government relies heavily on its soft power through humanitarian, military, and political assistance to maintain friendly relations with Georgia. One additional economic measure of a country's relations is to examine its international trade patterns. Around 23% of Georgia's total trade, imports and exports, is with the EU. Counting specific countries, Turkey is Georgia's largest trade partner, with a total of 14% of Georgia's trade, followed by Russia and China. When looking at Georgia's 2019 exports by country group, the Commonwealth of Independent States, an intergovernmental economic organization of 9 out of the 15 post-Soviet countries, make up 53% of Georgia's total exports, whereas the EU is 22%. The Commonwealth of Independent States makes up 27% of Georgian imports, with the EU closely following at 26%. This implies that Georgia can retain good economic relations with both the EU and former Soviet countries. In terms of general government-to-government relations, our video will focus on Georgia's 4 border countries: Azerbaijan, Turkey, Armenia, and Russia. Azerbaijan is perhaps Georgia's most crucial regional ally. Relations between the two countries have had their bumps, but generally the two countries managed to resolve their problems. This is for 2 factors. First, Georgia's president from 1992 to 2003, Eduard Shevardnadze, worked with Azeri President Ilham Aliyev to form a stable relationship between the two newly independent countries. Both presidents understood that their respective countries' stability and security are indivisible and symbiotic. Georgia lacks energy but offers Azerbaijan access to a substantial market, both domestically and via exports along the Black Sea. Azerbaijan has an excess of energy, but thanks to competition from Russia and Iran, Azerbaijan has an otherwise limited market to sell. Therefore, a union between the two states was the only logical solution. 2. Azerbaijan and Turkey are, ethnically, linguistically, culturally, and even politically, extremely close to each other. However, both Azerbaijan and Turkey have sour relations with Armenia, which is situated between the two countries. As such, Georgia offers the easiest link between the two countries. Additionally, building from the first point, linking the two Turkic states forms a stable bridge between the overwhelmingly Turkic countries of Central Asia and Europe. Despite historical animosities between the Ottomans and Georgians, present-day relations between Turkey and Georgia are exceptionally warm. Turkey is the western end of Georgia's link between the Caspian Sea in Central Asia and Europe, and, as such, Turkey is a crucial economic partner for Georgia. Turkey's NATO membership cannot be understated here. Turkey offers Georgia a solid precedent for NATO membership, as that both countries have only recently entered the Western political sphere. Additionally, Turkey's interests in maintaining stability in the Black Sea offer Georgia a level of added protection against Russia, as that any Russian interference in Georgia would negatively affect Turkey, both as a NATO member and as a country which is heavily dependent on trade through the Bosphorus Strait. Georgia's relationship with Armenia is characterized predominantly by Armenia's relations with its neighbors, Azerbaijan and Turkey. Its blockade with Turkey is predominantly over the topic of the Armenian genocide, while the blockade with Azerbaijan, and to a lesser extent Turkey, is regarding the territory of Nagorno-Karabakh, which is an Armenian populated territory in Azerbaijan which is generally considered to be occupied by Armenia. Due to being surrounded on two sides by hostile states, Armenia must use its cultural and historic ties to Russia for its security, and even has its 102nd military base in Armenia's second largest city, Gyumri, which is about 40 kilometers or 25 miles south of Georgia. As such, a Georgian attempt to befriend Armenia would likely be detrimental to Georgia's relations with Turkey and Azerbaijan, which Georgia, presently, cannot afford to lose. What's more, Russia's military ties with Armenia are seen as an existential threat to Georgian security. Finally, the large number of Armenians living in Georgia, specifically in the country's Javakheti region, give Georgia concerns for separatism. Many villages in the region are entirely Armenian, and fears that Javakheti could seek decentralization from Georgia, a la Achara, or even fully integrate itself into Armenia remains a back-burner fear of the Georgian government. Georgia's relations with Russia are by far the most complex. It should be noted that, even though the political situation between the two countries is extremely negative, with both sides blaming the other for the poor state of relations, there still remains a high degree of economic activity between Russia and Georgia. On the government level, most of the present-day problems between the two countries stem from Russia's assistance of Abkhaz and South Ossetian separatists during the 1990s. Georgia, in an attempt to ease relations with Russia, entered the Russian-created Commonwealth of Independent States. As history can tell, this didn't work well for Georgia. The ascension of Mikhail Saakashvili to the presidency of Georgia in 2003 was seen as an existential threat to Russia, thanks to Saakashvili's unwavering pro-Western, pro-NATO, and anti-Russian policies. Furthermore, Russia saw, and still sees, Georgia's attempt to become a transit and energy corridor as a threat to Russian national security. In 2006, Russia embargoed Georgian wine, agricultural products, and stopped all travel to the country. The apex of Russia-Georgia hostilities was reached in August 2008, when the two countries went to war, which resulted in massive Georgian military losses, the bombing of Georgia's fifth-largest city, Gori, and damage to the Baku-Supsa oil pipeline. In 2012, the Georgian Dream Democratic Georgia Coalition beat Saakashvili's party in the parliamentary elections. In the following year, the Georgian Dream Coalition took control of Georgia's presidency. The main policy of the Georgian Dream Party, which has ruled Georgia since 2012, has been to attempt to stabilize relations with Russia. This is not to say that relations between the two states have been amicable. Most recently, in June 2019, a Russian delegation representing the Inter-Parliamentary Assembly on Orthodoxy met in the Georgian Parliament building in Tbilisi. Russian Minister of Parliament Sergei Gavrilov spoke from the chair of the Speaker of Parliament. The ensuing protests throughout Georgia, although not solely about Russia itself, further deteriorated the relationship between Russia and Georgia. In response, Russia banned all flights to Georgia, which was widely considered an attempt to punish Georgia by damaging its tourism sector, which is heavily dependent on Russian tourists. Georgia's relations with its neighbors are largely based on exogenous factors, making Georgia's situation even more difficult to balance. Despite such complexities and the primary drivers for Georgia's international relations, Georgia has managed to forge new alliances with former enemies and continues to adapt in the ever changing world. For more information about Georgia, visit our website www.visiting-georgia.com. Thanks for watching.